Hey guys, today I'm going to tell you how to cook a traditional Korean dish. It's called Kongguksu. It's been one of my favorites ever since I tried it first time a couple of years ago. And I tried several different ways of cooking it, and I believe I found something that works for me, and hopefully that's something that you can enjoy. Everything that I will cook here is organic, non-GMO and vegetarian, so come and check it out. So for our Kongguksu we'll need the following ingredients. We'll need daikon, we'll need fresh cucumber, we'll need Korean pear, you can get it at any Asian grocery store, and then we'll need tomatoes. You can use regular tomatoes, but we went with cherry tomatoes because they're non-GMO. And then you will need soybeans. Make sure that those soybeans are non-GMO as well, because they are notorious for being a GMO product. And we'll need some salt. Very important is to get the sea salt, because that's what gives this amazing dish its uniqueness and texture. It brings out the robust flavor. Otherwise it tastes very plain and simple. And we'll also need some Korean red pepper flakes. Again, you can get them at your local Asian store. I will be using them to marinate daikon later on. Seaweed. I want to add seaweed to this dish because it also complements that flavor, so it's kind of salty and crunchy type of thing, and offers a deeper texture to the whole palette of tastes. When you're picking up your seaweed, make sure you read the back label and make sure there's no Prop 65 warning that says may cause cancer. If you see it, then just go with another brand. I got this one at my local Asian store, and this is a Taiwanese brand. Tastes pretty much same as any Korean seaweed, and it has amazing quality. We'll need some soba buckwheat noodles. You can use white wheat noodles if you like. Again, you can get them at your Asian grocery store, but we went with buckwheat noodles because I think that's a better match for this dish, and it's a healthier alternative. And you will also need sesame oil. You can use sesame seeds, but I found out that they do not offer that robust flavor that you want to have in your kongguksu, so we're gonna go with sesame oil instead of the sesame seeds. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna peel daikon, and we're gonna cut it into thin slices so we can marinate it while we cook. You can cut the whole thing. I'm just doing as much as I need for one dish. Put everything in a bowl. And then add a little bit of sea salt. And add exactly the same amount, a pinch of Korean red pepper flakes. Not too much, just to get the marination going. And then sprinkle it with some rice vinegar, just a little bit. And then make sure you mix it all well. And put it in the fridge, and we'll move to the next step. So after we're done with daikon, we're gonna prepare soybeans for initial boil. So we're gonna put them in a glass bowl and add lots of water so they can kind of pre-soak. A lot of recipes suggest that you want to put them in the fridge overnight or for 10 hours. The logic behind it is that the longer they soak, the softer they get and easier it is to boil them. And I found out that it's an unnecessary step. Instead, you can just put them in water and set them aside for 2 hours and then just boil them on the high heat, and you pretty much get the same results. So we're going to put them aside and wait 2 hours and then come back in 2 hours, and we'll go from there. So after 2 hours we take out our soybeans that have been pre-soaked, and we'll just put them in a pot. Put the pot on high heat, add a little bit more water, probably all the way to the top, twice as much as the amount of soybeans that you have in there, and put it on high heat and boil for about 45-50 minutes. Make sure that there's still plenty of water inside, because soybeans will expand and you will need to add more water. So kind of play it by the ear, you know, check on them every maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and make sure that there's some boiling action going on and there's plenty of water. So while our soybeans are boiling, we are going to prepare other ingredients. We are going to peel Korean pear and cut it into thin slices. The thinner they are, the better they taste. So you can really use your creativity here. Don't be shy. It's a good size right there. Put them aside. We're gonna take our cucumber and cut it into thin slices. The more the better. I just like when there's lots of cucumbers in my Korean dishes. And then cherry tomatoes. Just cut them in half. There you go, and put everything aside. After about 10-15 minutes, our soybeans start to boil, and we're just going to let them boil like this for another 40-45 minutes. About 15 to 20 minutes before our soybeans are ready, we will start boiling some water for our noodles. So once the water has reached boiling temperature, we put a pinch of salt, and then we'll put some noodles in there. Those Korean buckwheat noodles, they take about 3 to 5 minutes top to boil, so you really gotta be quick about it. I use 1 bunch per person, so just throw them in there and close the lid and let them boil for about 4 to 5 minutes. So about 3 to 5 minutes later, our noodles are ready, and it is time to prepare them for washing and rinsing in cold water. So right now we're gonna rinse our noodles in cold water. want to make sure that you give them a good rinse so they would cool down as much as they can and have this nice rubbery texture. And they have to be very cold to the touch. There you go. So after about an hour of boiling, we are going to take the lid off and pour our boiling soybeans into a larger pot, just like this one. That way we can easily rinse them. So we put them in the pot and then we are going to rinse them. So now after the soybeans have been boiled and are ready, we will rinse them, and the purpose of rinsing them is to get the skin out and cool them down as much as we can. So what I'll do is I'll put them in the bottom of the sink and I'll run cold water through them, and I'll use this rubbing motion. I'll rub them in between my palms and the skin will come out, and then I will wash it away with the same running water, so it will look like something like this. Do that for a while until you get most of the skins out. You want to do that because it's easier to blend them afterwards and turn them into this nice consistent creamy sauce. And skins, they float, so the beans, they sink to the bottom and skins, they float on top. So what you can do is you can just tilt and drain most of the skins from your pot, and then just repeat this process a couple of times until you get most of the skins out. Basically you want them to be as clean as possible and you want them to be as cold as possible, and do that for about 5 to 10 minutes and make sure that you get everything out and everything's clean and cold, and you go to the next step. After we're done washing our soybeans, we will put them in the blender. This is the part where the magic happens. Put a pinch of salt. Actually put 2. A little bit of sesame oil. Ice. You can put as much as you want as long as you're able to reach that creamy consistency. So just put a little bit. It will cool down the soybeans and it will make them taste like the authentic cold dish without the overnight freezing. So it's a little shortcut right there. And put a cup of water. When you're ready, you want to blend them for about 5 or 10 minutes until everything is nicely liquefied. If you see some bits and pieces floating in your blender, then you gotta blend them a little bit more. Eventually this whole thing will turn into this solid creamy consistency type of sauce. So after about 5 or 7 minutes of blending, we end up with this creamy, milky type of sauce. And the consistency that you're going for, it's like a thick kefir slash yogurt, like a milkshake. So after you're done with that part, you can take some of your noodles, put them inside a big bowl, pour your Kongguksu sauce on top. And now you're going to add your pre-made veggies and fruits. So we put a little bit of cucumber, a little bit of cherry tomatoes, and some Korean pear. We're also going to put Korean seaweed. I do that because it adds a lot of flavor, a lot of texture to the dish. You just crush it any way you want. And then if you like spicy, then you want to use black pepper. So put some black pepper on top, as much as you want, but don't add anything else other than black pepper, otherwise it will taste kind of funky. And a pinch of Korean red pepper. And don't forget to put your daikon that you pre-marinated in the beginning. You put as much as you want. There you go, enjoy. Well, as you can see, our Kongguksu is ready, and the way you eat this Korean dish is you take a fork or chopsticks and you mix everything up till it turns this, solid consistency, and you just eat it. Noodles, vegetables, everything that's in there, just make sure it's nicely mixed. Very filling, has lots of proteins. It's so vegetarian, good quality food. It's very healthy for you. If you like our video, leave a comment below, hit like and subscribe, and hope to see you soon.